So you get the diagnosis, right? A tear in your knee, maybe a disc thing in your back, and boom, almost right away the conversation goes to one place, surgery. And man, it can feel, I don't know, like it's the only option on the table. But is it really?
And that right there, that's the exact question millions of us face. Look, the idea of a one-and-done surgical fix is, well, it's tempting, right? But it's not that simple. We're talking risks, we're talking big costs, and a long recovery. So you gotta ask, is there another way? A less invasive path that works just as well?
It sets up this classic showdown. In one corner, you've got the scalpel, the big surgical intervention that's sold as the ultimate solution. And in the other corner, you've got exercise, right? Physical therapy, which, let's be honest, is often seen as just the thing you do before you get the real fix. But what if that whole way of thinking is wrong? What if the evidence, the actual science, tells a totally different story? Well, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at the science, the hard data, and see what happens when these two really go head-to-head.
All right, let's kick things off with round one, the knee. I mean, this is a huge battleground for pain, right? We're going to look at two of the biggest culprits that send people hobbling to the doctor: degenerative meniscal tears and good old-fashioned arthritis.
And let's just start with a bombshell right out of the gate. This is from Harvard Health Publishing. Think about what this is saying. It's not some small claim. This is a direct shot at the idea that if you have a tear, you've got to have surgery to fix it.
And here's the kicker. This isn't just one study they're talking about. We're looking at a huge systematic review, which basically means they rounded up the 10 best studies on the topic. And what do they find? When it came to pain and just being able to get around and use your knee, there was no significant difference between the PT group and the surgery group. So, if the results are the same, but one option avoids all the risks and costs of going under the knife, well, the evidence is pretty clear, right? PT should be the first thing you try. Okay, so that's the meniscus. Now let's switch gears and talk about knee osteoarthritis. For this, the big non-surgical matchup isn't another operation. It's usually a steroid injection, that quick shot you get right in the knee to knock down the pain and inflammation. So, how does around a PT stack up against that? Now, this is fascinating. When you first look at the costs over a full year, it looks like a dead heat. The total medical bills for the PT group and the injection group are almost exactly the same. So you're probably thinking, well, the shot is way faster. Why wouldn't I just do that?
Aha! But wait for it, because this is where the story gets really good. It shows you that cost is not the whole story. Not even close, because while the money spent was the same, the value they got for that money was totally different. The physical therapy group reported a 10% higher improvement in their quality of life. Think about that. They weren't just masking the pain, they were actually